Well, Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler has come under fire recently for opposing the WNBA's frequent protests during the national anthem. One America's Jack Posobiec sat down with her to learn more.
All right, Senator Loeffler, thank you so much for sitting down with us here with One American News.
Yeah, great to be with you, Jack. Thanks for having me on.
Now, I wanted to ask, so you're obviously, very associated with the WNBA. You're the co-owner of a team there out of Atlanta, and you had some strong words recently for a protest that took place during or actually just before the national anthem. Tell me about that.
Well, you're right. I am a co-owner of the WNBA Atlanta Dream. Sports has such power to unite us, and I felt some of the recent actions that the league has taken has really moved to divide us further at this moment when I think sports could be such a powerful uniting force in our country. And when the players refuse to stay on the court for the national anthem, of all things, that they did not feel that this was the right thing to do, I had to speak out because, look, if anything, this country, we should rally behind the flag, the national anthem, because it is the thing that unites us. It provides for that equality, that freedom that we continue to strive for in this country like no other around the world. And that's why I spoke out against the political organization Black Lives Matter. And let me be very clear, the statement Black Lives Matter is very different from this political organization, which has Marxist roots, Marxist foundations. They believe in defunding the police. They've promoted anti-Semitism and violence, and this isn't helping our country move forward around the important conversations that we really could be having.
Now, what kind of reaction have you received from within the WNBA on that?
Well, obviously, the reaction has been pretty swift and angry, which I think is completely expected in today's cancel culture, where if you're disagreed with, they want to cancel you, they want to take away your business, they want to boycott you, they want to kick you out of your job or your school. And I'm standing up to say, this is a country where we have freedom of expression. You should not be canceled for saying what you believe. And I believe that any organization that wants to defund the police, that wants to disrupt the traditional family, moms and dads, they don't believe in it. I don't think that's what our organization stands for, but yet no one's looked behind the curtain of this organization that receives its funding through a mechanism called Act Blue, which is designed to elect liberals, to promote liberal causes, and I just don't think people have looked into this enough, and that's why I had to raise the awareness.
Now, of course, you represent the city of Atlanta. The city there has seen a lot of protests, but also a lot of violence in the wake of those over the past 2 months. The president has talked about sending federal law enforcement power to some of these areas that really need this augment. Obviously, Portland has been the focus. Seattle's been a focus. I don't know if Atlanta has been on the question yet or really on the bubble, but if it were, and just sort of broadly, what are your thoughts on the president and AG Barr's use and Chad Wolf's use of federal law enforcement for some of these problem areas?
Well, the surge in federal agents, Operation Legend, is much needed right now across the country, Atlanta included. What we saw happening in Atlanta very early on was an autonomous zone that I warned about, that I spoke out about, and I was criticized for saying that we need to stop this lawlessness happening in the streets. I was criticized for that, and yet just days later, an 8-year-old girl, a little girl, was gunned down in the street, Sequoia Turner. There was no outrage from the BLM organization. No one spoke out against this lawlessness. In fact, it seemed to be supported by our elected leaders. And in fact, the mayor of Atlanta has actually signed a letter opposing Operation Legend coming to Atlanta should it be needed. Now, the governor has taken strong action to activate the National Guard, and I think he's exactly right. It's helped keep things at the right level. We need to protect the ability to peacefully protest, but what we're seeing in Portland is not peaceful. 62 straight consecutive nights of lawlessness, of rioting mobs taking over the city, and that being endorsed by the mayor and the governor. And that's just wrong. That's why we need federal agents in there supporting local law enforcement. And I'll continue to support the president in all his efforts to keep Americans safe. That's our first duty as elected officials.
Thank you so much, Kelly Loeffler, for sitting down with us here on One American News. Appreciate your time.
Such a pleasure. Thanks, Jack.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.